My name's Aaron Bell. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Saskatchewan in biology, and I'm studying fire ecology. We're here in northern Saskatchewan, just north of La Ronge, where I grew up, where in 2015 there was a large high-intensity fire that caused an evacuation in the community. My parents and the community were definitely impacted. My mom went down south to stay with family, and my dad was directly involved through fire management, putting out the fire. 13,000 people were evacuated, which has been considered one of the largest evacuations in Saskatchewan history. And these sort of crises or fire-related crises are becoming more common. We've seen in 2016 the large-scale evacuation in Fort McMurray, and more recently in California. I think in part the fire crisis that we're experiencing stems from our historical perspective of fire. Back when fire suppression programs were developed in the early 1900s, fire was viewed as this destructive agent that should be suppressed at all costs. But more recently, we're realizing that fire plays an important role in ecosystem health, and suppressing fire isn't ecologically feasible or desirable. So that presents challenges for fire managers. We still need fire suppression to manage and protect communities, lives, assets, cultural lands, things like that. But we also need to have some fire on the landscape so that, one, we don't increase the risk of these high intensity, large fires that are difficult to control, and two, so that we maintain healthy forest ecosystems. So it might be hard to believe, but fire managers really don't have any guidelines when it comes to managing fire in a way that promotes healthy ecosystems. They know that fire is important, but specific biodiversity targets and what types of fire and how much fire we need on the landscape isn't really something that we've been able to answer. Fire is extremely variable. It depends on, the forest type, the geology, the climate, things like that. So one solution doesn't fit all. You can't just go into a forest and know exactly how you should manage the forest for fire. So that presents some challenges, both from a fire management perspective, where we're trying to protect these assets, but also maintain ecosystem health. So we're going back there. That spruce there? Okay. Well, it's a fire scar because it kind of forms a triangular shape. And if you pull some of these off, it's kind of like spongy, like charcoal. And so pine are really well adapted to fire. Their seeds are waxy. It's called serotiny, and they only open and germinate when there's fire. And compared to spruce and aspen and things like that, their bark is much thicker and they tend to leave fire scars. So it's one tool that we can use in fire ecology to reconstruct fire history. The second is tree rings. You just poke a little hole. So lean up against it. Get it started through the bark. Oh yeah. So put that in gently. Push it all the way in. And then holding the spoon, you give it a half turn to break the core off from the tree. Then you pull it out. And we hit the pith. Right there. So, there's a wealth of history and data in these rings. It can tell you a lot about the past. A little pine. Can't have jack pine without fire.